Hello everyone, in this video we will do Lagrange's mean value theorem. Previously we have done Rolle's theorem. So what was Rolle's theorem? That if a function is continuous on a closed interval, say AB, and it is differentiable on the open interval, and it is having the same functional value at the end points, then we can say that there should be a stationary point within the interval. What is the meaning of stationary point? It means that at that point the derivative of the function will be 0. Okay, so let us see what Lagrange's mean value theorem says. Okay, let me state that theorem first. It says that let f from AB to R be a function which is number 1 continuous on the closed interval AB, that is its domain. Number 2, it is differentiable on the open interval AB. Then we can conclude that there exists at least one C within the open interval such that we can calculate the derivative at the point C by this formula. It is FB minus FA by B minus A. So this is the Lagrange's mean value theorem. It says that let us suppose f is a real valued function that satisfies two conditions, that is, it is continuous on the closed interval and is differentiable on the open interval. Then what we can conclude that there exists at least one real number C within the open interval AB such that the derivative at the point C can be given by this formula. Okay, so let us see what geometrically it is saying. Suppose these are the axes, these are the coordinate axes, and we take the interval AB like this here on the x-axis. So see, since the curve is continuous and differentiable, we can take the function like this. So say at the point A, the height is FA, and at the point B, the height is FB. So first of all, let us see what are the coordinates of these endpoints of this curve. See here, it is A, the x coordinate is A and the y coordinate is FA. So we can write this one as A comma FA. And similarly, for this point, the x coordinate is B, the y coordinate is FB. So we can write this coordinate as B comma FB. Now the main issue is, now let us join these 2 points by naming them A and B. If we join A and B, we get a line like this. This line AB is called the chord to the curve of F joining A and B. Remember, when we are drawing circles, any 2 points on the circle can be joined, and the line we get is called a chord. The same concept is here. If you join any 2 points on a curve, you will get a chord to the curve. Okay, now let us see what is in the right hand side of the equality. What it says? See, there is a similarity of this expression with something we have done in class 11. that was the slope of a line joining 2 points x1 y1 and x2 y2. So what was the formula for slope? The formula was y2 minus y1 by x2 minus x1. So if you compare the situation here, you will see the slope of this chord AB is what? The points are A and B, and the coordinates are A, FA and B, FB. So you see y2 minus y1 becomes FB minus FA, and x2 minus x1 becomes B minus A. So basically here, this AB minus FA by B minus A quantity is nothing but the slope of the chord. Slope of the chord AB. Okay. So let us write it in the equation. So look at the left hand side of the equation. It is f dash c, and previously we have seen that the meaning of derivative is the slope of the tangent that can be drawn to the curve of the function, and here f dash c means it is the slope of the tangent to f at x equals to c. So what we can say from this equality is that slope of the tangent to f at x equals to c is equal to slope of the chord AB. Okay. So this is the meaning for Lagrange's mean value theorem. So what it is saying, that if you get some real valued function f which is continuous on the closed interval and differentiable on the open interval, then you will get at least one point c, one real number c within the interval within the open interval AB, such that the derivative at the point c will be AB minus FA by B minus A, and also we can say that the slope of the tangent at the point c is equal to the slope of the chord. That means you will surely get a point c within the open interval AB where the tangent is parallel to the chord, and not only one point, you can get more than one point also. Means this point can also be C where the tangent is parallel to the chord. So basically Lagrange's mean value theorem says about the existence of point where the tangent is parallel to the chord joining the endpoints of the curve. So this is what we get from Lagrange's mean value theorem. Now see one thing, if you impose the third condition of Rolle's theorem, that is Fa equals to Fb, what will happen? If Fa becomes equal to Fb, then you can say that Fb minus Fa is 0. So from this we can say f dash c equals to 0 by this formula. So that means it is a more general version for Rolle's theorem that says about the existence of stationary point. See, if Fa is becoming Fb, then C becomes the stationary point to the function. Also see, if this condition is imposed, then the graph of the function is also saying the same thing. See here, this point is A and this point is B, and suppose this height is fa, and we are getting the same height at the point B also. See, if this function is changed using this condition fa equals to fb, you will see the function will look like something this. That is, the chord AB is now becoming parallel to x-axis. This chord, here it is like this. So, the tangents we are getting at the point C here, that will be here and also here. Now see, the tangents are becoming also parallel to x-axis. That means at this point C, f dash C is becoming 0. So what we can say that Lagrange's mean value theorem is a more general version for Rolle's theorem, and if the condition, the third condition, if A equals to FB is also imposed in the theorem, then this theorem becomes the Rolle's theorem itself. So this is the theoretical part for Lagrange's mean value theorem. Let us see some examples. Our first example is this: verify LMBT. LMBT means the Lagrange's mean value theorem for the function fx equal to root over of x minus 2 on the closed interval 2, 3. So we have taken a simple example first. So let us first see one by one the conditions of LMBT. The first condition was continuity. So let us see whether this function is continuous within the interval or not. See, from the expression we can say it is continuous everywhere because it somehow looks like a polynomial. For a more convenient way, so let us take some point A within the closed interval and let us take continuity at this point. So if you take limit x tends to a fx, what you will see, it is limit x tends to a root over of x minus 2, and this value will be root over of a minus 2. We can straightforward put x equals to a in the expression because we are taking a from 2, 3, closed interval 2, 3. That means it is a domain for this function, and nowhere the function will be undefined at the point A. And also we can see that this is the value of fa. So clearly the function is continuous. Clearly f is continuous on 2, 3 because it is being continuous at each point of 2, 3. Number 2, the differentiability. So for differentiability, what we do here, we differentiate the function and then we see whether the value of the derivative exists everywhere in the closed interval or not. So what is the derivative for root over x minus 2? First we will do the derivative of the root function, that is 1 by 2 root over of x minus 2, and then the derivative of x minus 2, that is 1. So basically it is becoming 1 by 2 root over of x minus 2. Now in which interval this is defined, or we can say at which point it is undefined. See, it will be for definedness we should get x minus 2 greater than 0. That means x greater than 2. So what are all the values, or what is the interval for existence of this derivative? We can say the interval is 2, infinity, because x greater than 2 means this interval. So clearly this satisfies the condition for differentiability because we need the differentiability on the open interval 2. So here we can say that f is differentiable on open interval 2, 3. So both the conditions are satisfied. So let us conclude that by Lagrange's mean value theorem there exists at least one C within the open interval 2, 3 such that f dash C is equals to f3 minus f2 by 3 minus 2. Now see, from the function it is root over of x minus 2, that means f3 is nothing but 1 itself. f2 means 0 divided by 1, so it is 1. And f dash C, we have seen f dash x is 1 by 2 root over of x minus 2, so here it should be 1 by 2 root over of C minus 2 is equals to 1. Solving we get this, then finally we get something like this. Nine by 4. And you can easily verify that 9 by 4 is something like 2 point something. So we can easily say this value lies in the interval 2, 3. So the conclusion meets the requirement of Lagrange's mean value theorem that C should lie within the open interval 2, 3. So we can say that the function f satisfies Lagrange's mean value theorem. Okay. So this is the way we solve the problems. Okay. Also, if you see the picture of this function, you will see something like this. The function is x minus 2, so let the graph we consider as y equal to x minus 2. So what should be the expression? Y square is equals to x minus 2. So if you see the graph here, say it is 2 and it is 3. Since it is a parabola and its positive root is taken, so the function will look like something like this. So if you join the points 2 and 3, so if you join these 2 points, you will get a curve chord like this. So it is saying at 9 by 4, that is something here, you will get a tangent which is parallel to the chord. So this is the geometric view of this problem. So let us proceed to another example. This is our second example. It is sin x on the interval 0, pi by 2. So we know that the function sin x is continuous throughout the real numbers. So here we straightforward say that the function is continuous on the closed interval 0, pi by 2. So we know that sin x is we write it as f. We know that the function f is continuous. On closed interval 0, pi by 2. Also, it is differentiable on the open interval 0, pi by 2. So what we can conclude then, there exists at least one point C within the open interval 0, pi by 2 such that f dash C is equals to f pi by 2 minus f0 by pi by 2 minus 0. That means f pi by 2 is sin pi by 2, that is 1. f0 is sine 0, that is 0, and here it is pi by 2, that means it is becoming 2 by pi. Now f dash c, what is the derivative for sin x? It is cos x, and at the point c it is cos c. So cos c is 2 by pi, and if you calculate this value, c is cos inverse 2 by pi, you will get something. Okay, so let us see cos inverse 2 by pi. It is being 0.88 around this, and very much clear that it is in the open interval 0, pi by 2, because the value of pi is 3.14, so we can say that pi by 2 should be around 1.5. It is greater than 1.5. So we can say that 0 pi by 2 is something like 0, 1.5 and so on. And we can clearly see that 0.88 is in the interval. So it is also satisfying the conclusions of Lagrange's mean value theorem. So these are two simple problems. Let us do another one. So this is our third problem. Again, we first check the continuity for this function. And see again, it is a combination of signs. So we can say the function sine is continuous, and scalar multiple and addition of two continuous function is again continuous. So we can say this for two continuous functions. F and g, f plus g and some constant multiple of some function cf is r continuous. R continuous. So we can straightforward say from here. So since sine is continuous, implies it is continuous on the closed interval 0, pi. So it is a scalar multiple of sin x, that is 2 into sin x, and also sin 2x is again continuous, that means it is addition of two continuous functions. So finally fx being the combination of two continuous functions, and hence it is continuous. Number 2, the differentiability. Also see the same thing, the scalar multiple and the addition of two differentiable functions are also differentiable. So with the same reason we can say the function is also differentiable. So I am not writing in details, just I am writing that f is differentiable on open interval 0, pi. The function is differentiable throughout the set of real numbers, and so it should be differentiable in any subset of the set of real numbers. So we can say it is differentiable on the open interval 0, pi. So both the conditions are satisfied. Now let us move to the conclusion. That means there exists some point C within the open interval 0, pi where the derivative should be f pi minus f0 by pi minus 0. Now what is pi f pi? It is 2 sin pi plus sin 2 pi. That means both are 0 by pi. So it is 0. Now the derivative. what is the derivative of 2 sin x? It is 2 cos x plus the derivative of sin 2x is again 2 cos 2x and it is 0. Now we need the derivative at the point C. So we can write, instead of x, we can write C. So this is the equation. So from this we find the value of C. So after cancelling the factor 2, we can write cos C plus cos 2C equals to 0. So cos 2C is equals to minus cos C. And we can write it here to be cos of pi minus C. So we can write 2C is equals to pi minus C. That means 3C is equals to pi, and that means C is equals to pi by 3. And clearly this value pi by 3 is within the interval 0 pi. So we can say yes, the function fx equals to 2 sin x plus sin 2x satisfies Lagrange's mean value theorem on the interval 0 pi, that is closed interval 0 pi. So we see that this function also satisfies Lagrange's mean value theorem. So these are some examples regarding LMVT, and we have also done the theory part, and I think everyone has understood. So let us end this video here.